What up, y'all? It's your boy Martine, aka the Boxing Purist. Welcome once again to the Truth and Absolute channel, where I speak the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me good God Almighty. So I just got off of work. I'm about to hit the gym right now. I'm about to get that work in. But between last night and right now, I was listening to the Ryan Garcia video, the Ryan Garcia podcast that he did with PBD. Big shout out to PBD. I'm a big fan of PBD. I admire the dude a lot. Anywho, so I was watching the video, key points, and I figured I'd make a video telling y'all what I think about it. I didn't watch the whole thing yet, but there's enough points that I saw where I could speak on it with you guys about. I'll tell you how I feel about it. You could tell me what you think, and we could engage, and we could talk boxing, baby. But before all that, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button or the dislike button. It's all love. Drop a comment down below. I love engaging with you guys. Anywho, so the first thing I'm going to talk about in the interview is, Ryan reminds me a lot, in a way, not the way that he acts, not the way that he carries, well, kind of the way that he carries himself. He reminds me a lot of AJ, Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Because Anthony Joshua, when he stepped on the scene, he's been in the scene for a minute, but when he started getting those big fights and him fighting this person and that person, he was a hungry fighter. He had everything going for him. He looked like the championship fighter out of a video game, right? He just looked like the guy, like this is going to be the dude. And then he loses to Andy Ruiz, which whatever, fighters lose. But then he loses to Usyk. Then he loses to Usyk again, and it's always the same thing. Now I found my place. Now I'm in the right state of mind. Now I'm taking it serious. This loss is what I needed. This is what I needed to do. And although Ryan's only lost one time, Ryan, in my opinion, listen, I'm not a millionaire like Ryan Garcia. I'm not as famous as Ryan Garcia. A whole different lifestyle. So I don't want to look from the outside in and say something like Ryan needs to focus on his craft more. He needs to be more involved in the gym, in the sport, learning, training, advancing his skill, advancing his career as a boxer. And when I say advancing his career, I'm talking about getting better. But too often I'm seeing Ryan Garcia all over the place. I'm seeing him all over the place, right? I like Ryan. I do like Ryan. I think he's a talented fighter. The thing is, in my opinion, he spends too much time doing other things that have nothing to do with the sport. Promoting it, yes, but not fixing your craft in the sport. That's what I get. I just keep it real. So he made a couple of points. So now first, I don't know how to feel about this one. At first, it kind of hit me the wrong way. Then I was like, okay, well, it kind of makes sense. Let me tell y'all something. Ryan Garcia pretty much got on there and said that Rolly is only famous and popular because of Ryan, right? So immediately I was like, Ryan, don't do that, dog. Don't do that. It's like when Victor Ortiz said that Marcos Maidana was famous because of him. But then I started thinking about it, and it's like, it's about 6 years ago now. The first time that I heard about Rolly Romero was because a dude at work said, yo, did you see Ryan get beat up in sparring by that dude Rolly? That was the first time that I see Rolly. Obviously, I turned the video on and it looked like Rolly was beating him up. That's just what it looked like. So then I started thinking, And then anytime that I personally heard about Rolly, it may be different for you guys, it was always incorporated with that sparring session that he had with Ryan Garcia, how he got the best of him and this and that and this and that. Obviously, Rolly is an entertainer. As soon as Rolly got into that press conference, as soon as you see his videos of talking trash, now he's appealing. Now he's listening. So I'm not going to give 100% credit to Ryan, but Ryan is talking about that first, or one of the first sparring sessions they had 6 years ago, which you could say that it helped Rolly get a little bit popular. Ryan was already famous. Ryan was already all over the place. But you could definitely say that in editing that video, it was a smart move on Rolly, because now we all know who Rolly is, and now we're even watching him fight. He's headlining cards now, even though he shouldn't be, right? So that was... The talk about that was cool. The chatter was cool. Ryan was talking about his next fight, how Rolly and Cruz used Ryan's name to blow that up. I don't know much about that situation to say yeah, so I'm going to let that one be. Let me see. What else did Ryan talk about? Ryan was talking about his relationship with Floyd Mayweather. He was also talking a little bit about Oscar De La Hoya, but there was a key point that I wanted to make in all this. One thing I do like about Ryan is how open he is about his faith, how open he is about, calling God by name, Jesus, about his faith. He's really loud about that, which I like about Ryan. That's the next one that I wanted to talk about. So Ryan started talking about the fight with Tank. Now, before I get into this, I don't want nobody to think that I came on here to make an excuse that the only reason that Tank beat Ryan is because of what I'm about to tell y'all, if you haven't seen it on the PBD podcast interview already. Okay, we know Tank is the more skillful fighter than Ryan. We know Ryan had his advantages as well, whatever. However, this stuff made perfect sense. Not why he lost, but certain things made sense. Ryan came out and was pretty much saying that, because everybody heard after, right, that he had a snake in his camp, that he got backstabbed in his camp, but none of us knew what he was talking about. I think we were all waiting for the story. The story never came alive. We're just like, okay, Ryan, you're saying that you had a snake in there. What happened? What was it? Did somebody study your game plan? Did somebody exploit a weakness you had? What is it? How you were going to fight inside that ring? Well, what Ryan said is, in cutting so much weight to fight Tank Davis, in cutting so much weight that he was, getting sick pretty much. And you got to figure, man, if you feel dehydrated every day, if you've ever been dehydrated even for a few minutes for whatever reason, it doesn't feel good. So now I'm thinking every single day you're dehydrated because you got to make weight. You literally have to watch what you eat in every single thing that you put into your body, except for water, I'm assuming. To be sparring, to be jogging, to do all that while you're dehydrated is dangerous. Anyway, Ryan was telling a story in sparring that he took a routine body shot. Now, what I get from that is that when Ryan spars and the bell rings, he goes in there and he'll take a body shot from his opponent, kind of to just feel him out, kind of to get his bounce going or whatever. What Ryan was saying is that when he took that body shot, because he was cutting so much weight, that in doing so, his ribs separated because there wasn't enough nutrition there. He had cut so much weight, he was getting down to nothing, that his ribs separated. They couldn't do nothing about it. The doctor, I guess, told him you need to stay off of it for 3 weeks. But in that 3-week period, inside of that, he had the fight with Tank Davis lined up. So he pretty much told the doctor, no, that can't happen. Anywho, Ryan said that there was 4 people inside of that sparring session, right? He went to go see the doctor. He didn't end up sparring dude because of what happened. All of a sudden, somehow in Tank's camp, they knew about it. It's just crazy because Tank caught him to that same rib that Ryan was saying detached. It's the same exact spot where he got caught. Now, you still have to land that shot, right? Ryan knew to defend it. You still have to land that shot. You still have to open up your opponent, talking about Tank Davis. You're not just going to run in there and hit somebody there. Now, I'm not saying that's why Ryan lost the fight and that's why Tank, stopped him. Also, though, Ryan was saying, now he didn't confirm it, but he was saying that Floyd was the one that was telling Tank to put a rehydration clause on him, to put all things on him in the contract, to make it Davis Garcia, not Garcia Davis, that Floyd was telling him to do all these things, which is confusing to me because Ryan spoke highly of Floyd. We've all been seeing him work out with Floyd lately, but he's there openly telling us, the boxing crowd, that Floyd is the one that gave Tank all that advice to pretty much fight a Ryan Garcia not at his full potential. Not just because of the weight in the rehydration clause, but I guess there was a lot of other things in the contract that pretty much worked in Tank's favor, not flavor, against Ryan Garcia. Now, we know that this kind of stuff happens all the time in boxing. We know that there's stuff in the contract that don't make sense. My thing is, Tank is the more skillful fighter. Tank is the more experienced fighter of the two, right? My thing is, why go through that much trouble for a Tank Davis getting all advantages for him if he's that great against a Ryan Garcia who, they didn't think that highly of? I get it's business. I get all that. My thing is, if I want to beat the best fighter, I want to beat the best fighter. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to beat the best fighter and say he can't wear the shoes that he normally likes to wear when I play him. If I'm playing basketball one-on-one, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, he can't go and post me up every single time if we're going to play. You can. I would feel like I'm not beating the best guy or the best version of that guy. I would feel like I used every advantage to me and I won because I did everything in my power to win before I even stepped inside the ring or on the basketball court, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that was a trip to find out about that. That was kind of crazy. Again, I know it's the sport of boxing. I know it happens everywhere. But my thing is now walking down the line, now that we know this, what if fighters openly just start now all over the place putting these kind of contracts against these fighters? You know, rehydration clause, make you cut so much weight. You can't do this. You can't do that. It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. But also, Ryan could have just said, no, I'm not going to fight you. He was probably more worried about everything that was going to come back to him, how people were going to portray him if he didn't fight Tank. Tank kept stalling the fight out. Not Tank, Tank's team. It was a lot into it. I mean, it was cool info, though, to find out. So let me see. He talked about Rollies. He talked about Canelo a little bit. You know, nothing but respect. He pretty much went on there and said that Canelo pretty much told him, like, yo, be careful with Golden Boy. Be careful with Golden Boy Promotions. Be careful. I've been through it. I've been loyal to Oscar De La Hoya. Be careful with Golden Boy Promotions. And we've seen a few times Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya have their differences and so forth. He was asked if Oscar De La Hoya is a good person. You know, he gave an answer. He gave a good answer. You know, pretty much he gave a biblical answer, which in my opinion is a good answer. But I don't know, man. There was a lot. I'm going to finish watching it. I'm probably going to do a part 2 to this video I'm doing right here because I'm pretty much telling you guys like the first half of the video. So let me know what you guys think about all these things, man. I know a lot of it was new news for me. Perhaps it is for you too. Drop a comment down below. Let's talk boxing, y'all. I'm about to go get my lift on, y'all. Y'all make sure you have a great day. Do what you got to do. God bless. Peace.